That was for the death penalty all along. He's still in there for life, so.
What would you have said differently in court?
I think the Italian would have came out of me, honey.
Knowing Bella suffered like that.
Yeah, to hear my granddaughter beg for her life. Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Well, see, we didn't know what a DA had said the day of court either, that she had a bitter tongue. We never knew any of that until that day. So that hit us real hard, too.
And we didn't know that she was face down in the dirt, like a piece of dirt.
No blanket, no blanket on or nothing.
We got permission from his side of the family to have the grandchildren and bury our grandchildren with their mom. But it was, the hardest thing was flying them here because they were in crude oil for 4 days. So they were flammable. So we couldn't cremate them. They would have blown up a building. They had to have a bigger coffin, and then they had to seal it with a certain kind of wrap so the gases wouldn't leak out. That's pretty sad, isn't it? So we three here never got to say goodbye to our family or see them.
It was highly...
Or hug them, or to tell them that we loved them like some did.
We would have had to sign a release if we wanted to see them. That's how bad.
Knowing what you now know, what would you say to him? What would you say to Chris Watts?
Coming up.
Do you have any suspicion that this mistress has had anything to do with this?
Other than mind games? I don't know. It's hard to tell. She was looking for a book deal money at the beginning. And how much did Scott Peterson's mistress make off of her murder in her book?
It's everything she Googled is what we read in the 2,000 pages.
We now return to a Dr. Phil exclusive.
Being a dad was the best part of my life. I took it all away.
I think that's the hardest part for us, Chris, is we see those videos, we see that love that you had for your girls. Like, it's obvious to us, and even to us, it's hard for us to understand how a dad who's given piggyback rides and, you know, making snacks and watching princess movies and those kinds of things, how you get to that point, you know?
I don't know. Just, like I said, it was just like something else was controlling me that day, and I didn't know control over what I was like to fight back.
Knowing what you now know, what would you say to Chris Watts?
Same question I've had. Why?
How could you?
Why?
I don't even know what to say to that.
Why didn't you just walk out the door? We found out what you did. Why did you do it? There's nothing that I can imagine why you would do that to your family. You want to know the life? Go open the door and leave.
I mean, seriously, our daughter would have made it without, you know, his help. I mean, if he wanted to sign his rights over, he could have done that. I think the comments that were made from his family about our daughter prior to the court hearing bothers me every day.
About them believing that Shannon had...
That they were okay that Chris killed Shannon, but he would never kill his children. I don't think that's okay at all. I don't think you have the right to take anybody's life. Who the hell gave you that right?
Do you have any suspicion that this mistress has had anything to do with this?
Other than mind games? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Her looking up wedding dresses and my sister, it's just all weird. It's all strange. She was looking for a book deal money at the beginning, and how much did Scott Peterson's mistress make off of her murder in her book?
It's everything she Googled is what we read in the 2,000 pages.
But that's not keeping you awake at night?
No, not at all. I sleep peacefully
Just know
knowing
what they went through keeps me awake at night. You know?
I think I sleep peacefully knowing that they took me in at night, and they love us. They're always there. They're always in our house because they know it's safe there. I think the hardest thing for us right now, honest to God, is the way they died. It was inhumane.